Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of Susan Cheever's book, E. Cummings, A Life, and it's one of the best biographies I've read in a while, and to be totally honest, it's one of the only biographies I've read in a long time, but Cummings is one of my favorite poets, and this book really explores Cummings the man as well as Cummings the poet. I learned a lot about him I didn't know. I'd always been a fan of E. Cummings since I was a kid. He's still one of my favorite poets now. And this book explores the kind of life he lived, which led him to become the type of poet he was, and which, led him to being influenced by the things he was, and which led him to be kind of playful but serious, satirical but very deeply serious human being he was. And Cummings was a complex guy. And Susan Cheever's book really goes into these details. For it to be such a short book, it goes into a number of things in his life that made him behave the way he did. And do I recommend people to read it? Yes. I feel like even if you're not a fan of poetry, or even know who E. Cummings is, you can still read this book and enjoy it. It's a book I feel more, though, is for fans already of him, and fans already of poets like him. I feel like those people would get more out of this book than just a general reader. But I still recommend it to anybody who just wants to read a good biography. As far as Cummings the poet himself, he was a very interesting guy. Not necessarily the best guy. His views were, granted, influenced by the times, not so enlightened in some respects. And in some respects, I have felt he definitely knew what he was talking about. Cummings the man was a very difficult guy, and a very complex guy. There was sides to him that were very delightful and very interesting, and I think very enlightened. And other sides of him were very non-enlightened and very of his time and not so nice. I was kind of shocked to discover that he was anti-Semitic. That was kind of a big blow to me personally. I mean, I get that, he grew up in a very unmodern time, but still it hurts to know, that someone you really like and admire for their skill and for the beauty of their language could, be so against a group of people. But in other areas, I definitely agree with him as far as his views on, rejecting fascism, rejecting communism, rejecting puritanical views of family and sex and marriage, rejecting social mores at the time he thought were ridiculous, and which I also agree were ridiculous at that point, and things that are still common today. I also agree with him rejecting those things. And him and me also both reject, a lot of normal social customs that he, as well as I, also think are ridiculous. So there's a lot more things about Cummings that I like than I dislike. Which, to find out that, I agree with him more than I disagree with him on is actually pretty cool, and also made me kind of respect him even more. Because the more I found out about him and could see a few similarities in myself and him, the more it made me want to go back and just read all of his poetry again. So, I think that's the best kind of biography, is that it not only makes you understand and appreciate the person more. If they're an artist, it makes you want to go back and listen to all their music, or see all their paintings, or see all their photography, or read all their writing. That's, to me, the best kind of biography, and you're like, holy crap, I learned so much about this person, and I respect this person because they were so interesting, that it makes me want to go through their catalog again. So, to me, that is a sign of a good biography. But anyway, that's just my opinion on it. I wanted to do something non-fiction for this review, and I thought, well, I haven't done a biography yet for Jason Reed Shit, so I thought I would do E. Cummings, and I eventually want to get to doing some poetry, maybe even some by Cummings. I actually own some books of poetry behind me. One of them, in fact, is E.E. Cummings. So, yeah. I'll get to do some poetry eventually. I don't know when. I do know for a fact, though, that I finally will get around to doing the reviews you guys requested soon. I'm actually reading a Jean Le Carré novel right now for one of my subscribers, and I will be doing Zadig by Voltaire for another one of my subscribers soon. So please keep your eyes open for those reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.